Minecraft. Also try Terraria. Oh, I have Minecraft, I have. In fact, with some of the new hard mode stuff in Terraria that I've been playing, for a brief period of time, Terraria was my favorite game because there was some awesome stuff happening there. But then I finally got back into recording Minecraft today, and Minecraft is my favorite again. So let's go ahead and get started with the new season of Exploration and Tactics. Hello, I am Brian, and this crazy game with blocky trees, I know a number of you may not recognize it, but it's a crazy little game called Minecraft. No, I know everybody knows what this is, but can you believe it has been 5 weeks since I have had any survival Minecraft on the channel? That is far too long, but we are finally back. I'm finally ready to restart Minecraft Exploration and Tactics. I'm starting a new world here in a forest biome that starts out next to a ravine, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, I guess to get things started, let's talk about the world and my plans for the series this season. Basically, last season it was the case that I did things very super hardcore challenge style. We had ultra hardcore mode with no health regeneration and other constraints like no villager trading and no regen potions and no beds. This season, I want to do things differently. One of the main reasons I want to change things up is by virtue of the fact that the world is different. Minecraft has changed with the 1.7 update in that they have made updates to the terrain generator, and there's a bunch of new biomes. And while I do know a fair amount about the update itself in terms of some of the new blocks and game mechanics, one of the things that I've been doing very hard is trying to avoid spoilers about the new biomes to discover, for example, things like new flower types. We've got some crazy peonies. We've got some poppies, red flowers that replace the roses. And so, one of the things I want to do last season, in addition to having kind of like all the challenge aspects, it was a complete the monument style map where I had a monument of different blocks that I was trying to gather up and obtain in that particular world. Let's do some chunk reloading here to actually have some more things appear on the map. And this season, I really enjoyed doing that, and so I kind of want to do a bit of that, but last season was very much focused, the series is called Exploration and Tactics, and last season was very focused on the tactics, because we had to work very hard at staying alive in Minecraft with all the restrictions that I had. And now with the new terrain updates and all the new biomes, I would like to have the series, at least for the beginning, be more focused on exploration. And so, yeah, we are not going to have the restrictions that we had before. You've already seen I'm regenerating health because we don't have the no health regeneration. The ultra hardcore mode is not turned on. Yeah, much more vanilla Minecraft this time around. And it's also the case that I've been back from Minecon for, I guess, more than a week now or something. And yeah, I had gotten sick after the con, and so I've been playing various games and recording things, but I've been waiting for my voice kind of to come all the way back to actually record Minecraft Exploration and Tactics, because I wanted to sound good in the first episode. But as a result, I've actually been doing a lot of playing off camera in this world, and so I'm going to catch you guys up with that. But I thought there's like this little island out in the middle of the lake here, and I thought that this looked like a good place to set up a first home base. And so now, with the magic of editing, I can go look at the sun and go, Kazam! And here we are in the same world, only I've done a bit of work to go ahead and get the initial resource gathering, some initial farms that you can see all around here, stuff that I did off camera. I recorded almost all of the stuff that I did, and so my plan is to kind of make a montage of some of the initial gearing up stuff that I've done, and then use that as background footage. I still have stories from Minecon, kind of my own personal stories. I've already shared lots of video and photos that I took, but I do have a bit of storytelling that I want to do just about my experiences at Minecon, and so I might just kind of talk off camera and then have as the video in the background kind of like montage of all the gearing up footage. But let me go ahead and kind of show off what I've got over here. For the most part, I've just done kind of caving underneath here and over back in that ravine back where we started. and then set up these farms around here. But at this point, I've managed to gather up a fair amount of resources. Things aren't all too organized at this point. I've only managed to find 3 diamonds so far. There's an abandoned mine shaft directly below this island, and so I've been hunting around the abandoned mine shaft, and I did find the 3 diamonds inside mine shaft chests. I haven't found any diamond ore in the walls. And then here's some other farm stuff. At this point, I already have poppies, dandelions, rose bushes, and peonies, and lilacs as 5 different types of plants. And you may notice, let me go ahead and switch away from my sword so that you can see the scoreboard over on the right-hand side of the screen. In addition to having a complete the monument like I did last time, and I think I'm going to build the same monument that I had in back in the previous season of Exploration and Tactics to do in this world as well. But in addition to that CTM, that was very hard to do in the previous world because of all the restrictions I placed on myself. This time I think it'll be much more straightforward, but I want to visit all of the biomes. There's like a bunch of new biomes in Minecraft. In fact, I think this hill might contain one of them, and I think there's something else crazy happening over there that I haven't seen before. Right now, I think I'm just in, forest. On the F3 screen over here near the bottom left of all that text, you can see the biome is a forest. Is where I started out, but I think there might be different biomes over in this direction. I haven't explored them at all because I wanted to explore them together with you guys on camera. There's also new achievements. I forget, is the achievement screen still... I've earned a number of achievements already that you can see here on this crazy screen, but there's more achievements than there used to be, I think. And the game tracks them on this screen, and also when you get an achievement, the achievement shows up. Enchanter. So that's one of the next ones I want to do. I need to find more diamonds first. Diamonds to you, throw diamonds at another player. Interesting. So this is an achievement that I have taken, apparently is the word. Acquire diamonds with your iron tools. And that achievement kind of lies because I didn't acquire diamonds by breaking down diamond ore with an iron pick. Instead, I just found them in a chest. But in any case, I would like to get all the achievements and so track them on the scoreboard. My plan is I'm only going to update the scoreboard at the end of each episode. And furthermore, the achievements are pretty much self-explanatory, but things like the biomes, in order to keep track of the biomes that I've found, I thought what I want to do is I want to make a map of each biome. I'm not sure what size I'm going to do the maps, and then I'm going to have like a wall where I display kind of like maps of each individual biome, and possibly rename the maps so they have like the coordinates of where they were in the world, or things like that. Haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do for that, but I definitely want to spend a lot of time kind of chasing down all the different biomes here in Minecraft. I'm going to keep a death counter. I haven't decided. I would like to do some type of Child's Play charity tie-in, once again, with Exploration and Tactics. But I don't want to do the $111 per death. That was a fun gimmick, and it was for a good cause. But my pockets aren't that deep that I want to do that all the time. Although in theory, I should be dying less in this world because we actually have health regeneration turned on and things like that. But at the same time, I think hopefully that'll just make me more prone to taking more risks because it's fun to take risks on camera, and also just kind of makes things move faster in general with the series. And when you do occasionally die, like I always found in previous seasons of Exploration and Tactics, times when I died, whether they were silly deaths or, just honest deaths from the mobs kind of overcoming me, it's always the case that those end up being pretty amusing to watch. And so, one of the things I noticed, so I was just kind of expanding a reed farm kind of all over the shoreline over here, is basically over here, there are new flowers that I have not yet seen or obtained. A whole bunch of them, actually. And it looks like possibly the trees have changed over here as well. And so I guess, should we go and check that out for a new biome? Actually, before we visit the biomes, I'm really keen to know what these flowers are because they look like tulips. And tulips, I think, are my favorite flowers in real life. And if they're not your favorite flower in real life, then you were wrong because they're the best flower. I do want to check that out, but I want to show you some of the things underground that I've discovered already as well. What time of day is it? It's still kind of noontime. I have basically in this water that's irrigating some of the plants around here, I dug myself a little shaft that kind of like goes down into this area. And it's actually been a couple of days since I've been playing in this world. Let's see if I can actually remember how to get to the various places I need to get to show off. But another thing that I plan to do, I'm not going to keep track of it on the scoreboard, I'm going to keep track of it a different way, is to keep track of all of the dungeons that I have found in the world. You'll recall that back in, I guess, Season 4 of Exploration and Tactics, when I had my village in the desert, we made a big kind of bar graph of dungeons, and I want to do something like that again, because I think that's a really cool thing. And so I found the spider dungeon, and I lit it up. I don't remember if I've actually looked inside these chests, or these chests. There's only one chest here. Name tag, great. Horse armor. Oh, I forgot all about horses. With, so they've changed the train generation. One thing is that there's less water, less oceans, which should make more of the world, I think, more navigable. Navigable is not necessarily the right word to use on land by horse. Feather falling 4. Okay, that is awesome. Let's go ahead and grab that in a saddle. So we got some great loot there. I'm going to have to come back and pick out the moss stone out of this because I'm going to use it for part of the whatever type of monument we use to show off all of the dungeons we found. But I did find a second dungeon, which I have kind of a convoluted path to get over to it over here. And this dungeon looks pretty cool, the way that it cuts into the mine shaft. I think it's right over here, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, here it is. So this was a zombie dungeon that's just kind of like intersecting the mine shaft in a couple of ways. And so it's kind of a small scale dungeon, and part of it's kind of eaten up by this mine shaft. I don't know that I've encountered kind of quite exactly this configuration before. And what do we have in this one? My first music disc is disc number 13. That is, since we have CTM on the right-hand side of the screen, if you weren't with me for the previous season of Exploration and Tactics, I had a monument that I was trying to complete where I had to gather all of the ore blocks, that is like a block of diamond and a block of coal and a block of redstone, as well as all of the music discs in the game. This is actually the way I need to go back down. All the music discs that are in the game, of which there are 12, and most of them you can only get by having skeletons kill creepers with arrows. And so that is a fun thing to do. And as well as a few of the rare blocks in the game, specifically the dragon egg. Oh, I'm going to get lost over here now if I'm not careful. The dragon egg, a beacon, which you need to kill the wither in order to get the nether star. No, I've overshot my staircase back up to get back home. The dragon egg and the beacon, so basically killing the 2 major bosses of Minecraft, as well as, here we go, here's the exit. I've done a fair bit of mining and lighting up, and so I've gotten to learn my way around this mine shaft reasonably well at this point. As well as mycelium, which comes from finding a mushroom biome, which due to the kind of like smaller oceans, or the way that they've changed the oceans in this update, I think may be more challenging to do. And finally, a circle stone block that you get from jungle temples, which are also a very rare structure in Minecraft. And so I do plan to continue to get, in this world, those same 24 CTM blocks, and so we'll be keeping score with them, as well as trying to keep track of all the biomes. I don't even know how many biomes there are, but as we make maps of them, we will update the scoreboard to show the biomes that we have found. Plants, I think maybe like all these new flowers that I was showing off over here, wherever they are. I think you could put them in flower pots, and in fact, let's actually try that out really quick, because this is something... Oh, here's something else I want to show off. I've only noticed a couple of changes with the game, but the birchwood has like a different texture. I think the top of it is a little bit whiter, and like the way that the rings of I think that's a little bit different. It seems to me that it looks different. There's a lot of updates to kind of like the graphics engine. You can see they've used some things with mip mapping, and I turned on like some anisotropic filtering and different things to try to make things a little bit better. I'm still fooling with the video settings a little bit. But those are a couple things that I've noticed. One of the best things about this update is I don't know that I have seen any of the lighting glitches that get caused when you just see like under a tree rather than there being a shadow where it's slightly darker than completely sunny. Instead it turns completely black. I don't know that I've seen any of those lighting glitches. And so that is a fix that makes me very, very happy because those lighting glitches really bothered me. That said, they did introduce a new lighting mechanic that I don't like at all, And I think they did it like right at the end, like right before this update came out. So if I'm out here, the sky looks nice and blue. And then if I go stand like under the shade of a tree a little bit, you see how it gets like gray on the horizon? Like all of a sudden there's a thunderstorm coming, and then I get out from under the tree and then it turns light again. Like, I guess that's some new lighting feature. I really don't like that one at all. And so I think it basically occurs when there's no sunlight directly above your head. But I hope they change that back, because that just looks really weird, or doesn't seem like it did what they intended it to do, perhaps. In any case, let's see. Are there any other things I need to point out just for the start of this? Let me go ahead. I'm going to tend to my farms again. Basically, we know that steak is one of the best foods, and so I went ahead and started a cow farm. Haven't found any chickens, otherwise I'd be starting a chicken farm as well. So I've been using the wheat to breed up the cows. I've also got a few sheep over here, and there were some pigs around, but I haven't found any carrots yet in this world, so I didn't start farming them. But yeah, let me tend to my farms for a little bit, and then I will pick back up with you guys, and we will do a little bit of exploring over in this direction. It just occurred to me as I'm going over to feed the cows, I've been listening to their loud noises the entire time when I've been doing my own farming. They have new features in the game where hostile creatures, friendly creatures, if I turn that down to like, let's say 40%. That's still a little bit loud with all the cows that I have, but I completely forgot about this when I've just been playing off camera on my own. I rarely fiddle with the controls and volume settings and different things, especially because I don't like watching other people's videos when they're fiddling with the controls on camera. Of course, I'm doing it here right now, but that's a nice new feature, and so now I can go into the cow farm and feed all the cows and not have to be overwhelmed by the amount of volume that's coming out. Yeah, back when it was just one volume control for everything, like I never like to turn the volume down, because then you might not hear a creeper sneaking up on you, or, you know, different sounds like that were important. But now that you can adjust the different sounds, the weather, since I have a bed, we're actually allowed to use beds this season. Amazing. I haven't had to worry too much about weather, because whenever it rains, I can just like sleep in the bed to kind of reset the weather. But nevertheless, you can turn down the weather sounds independently of other sounds now as well, which is super awesome. And so that is another feature that is really great. It seems like I was a little worried about the fact that it's only 1.7.2. I was joking about when 1.7 was first coming out, just before I was leaving to go to Minecon, that it seemed like they were kind of rushing the release out the door, and I thought it was going to take a bunch of little point updates to get things stable. For the most part, it's been running pretty well for me, and so yeah, I hope that I continue to enjoy this update as much as it seems like it's been enjoyable thus far. But I just wanted to breed and kill off a couple of the cows. All right, let me finish doing some farming work, and then I'll get back with you, and then we will do our first exploration into what I presume is some type of new biome up here. Before I forget, I wanted to check. I've already cooked up some bricks, you might have noticed, in the water out here where I dug up some clay. I want to see if we can put these new flowers, wherever they are, if we can put them in pots. And so let's grab a couple of new flowers. Oops. Actually put them on the bar. Oh no, do they not go in the flower pots? Am I not remembering how you put flowers in flower pots correctly? Dandelions used to go in them, right? Or did they? Yeah, they do. Ah, do the new flowers... Is it all the new flowers? Rosebush probably doesn't, because that's like a too high kind of bush thing. The poppies presumably do? Ah, I was thinking I was going to put all these flowers in a flower pot. Perhaps I will have to read the wiki, or perhaps some people in the comments will tell me if the set of things that can be put into pots has changed. I believe there were, I think, 11 objects that you could put in the pots previously. There was a speed challenge that I think, it was Petey-Boo, I think, who had introduced, called Horticulturalist, where you had to do a Minecraft speed challenge from New World Start, fill up all 11 pots with the different things you could put in them. You can put the various flowers and cactus and different things. But now there's a bunch more flowers. I just would have assumed that they'd go in the flower pots. So I'm going to have to read up about that. In any case, there's so much to do right at the beginning of a new series. But I've had to restrain myself so much, because I really think these are going to be tulips over here, to find out what this is. Red tulip, yes! I love tulips. Brian loves tulips. This is even as exciting as when potatoes were introduced in 1.4. And so is this an orange tulip? Orange tulip! Yay! Oh, tulips make me happy. So what kind of flower is this? Oxeye daisy. Fascinating. All right, and I think, are these the rose bushes that I already saw? Yeah, that's a rose bush, which I guess if you place them, like, do they automatically grow too tall when you place them? Yes, all right, so it's like a too high tall thing. Okay, more. Is this a pink tulip? Oh, pink tulip. I'm going to have so many tulips. Like, when I finally, like, make a house or an area that I'm going to live. Oh, wow, look at this. There's, like, snow on a mountain over there. And there's, like, a big rounded hill of stone. Oh, man. And then I thought I saw, like, some other weird trees over here. Okay, these are all more of the same. Is that a white tulip? White tulip! They have the most... Tulips are the ones that they have the most of, it seems like. Oh, this is great. I love tulips. Tulips, tulips, tulips. Alright, Minecraft is my favorite game again. I was having lots of fun playing Terraria, and also having lots of fun playing Desktop Dungeons recently. But now that we have tulips, Minecraft, you're back on top. Okay, this is weird. I guess it was because of, like, fog distance. I thought that these trees looked like they didn't have green leaves or had, like, a different... When I was looking back from my island and I just saw them barely on the horizon, I thought they had a leaf color that was other than green. So I'm wondering, basically, where all these tulips are, is this still a forest biome, or is this a different biome now that causes flower forest? Neat. All right, so we found a second biome in this world. It is called flower forest. And like I said, eventually I'm going to make maps in order to kind of keep score and keep track of the locations of all these biomes. For now, I'm not going to venture too far from home. But since we are here, I want to get up on top of this hill and look around, and then I want to go over to this crazy hill to get a closer look at this. There's so many things I want to do. Like, I still don't even have an enchanting table. Yeah, this is going to be so much fun. I'm sorry that it took so long that I was away from Minecraft. After I finished the previous season of Exploration and Tactics, I thought 1.7 might be coming out sooner than it did. And then... Oh, I thought it was the shadows from... This is actually the sun going down. I'm reasonably well armed. I have run into witches. Ooh, here's a new flower, new flower, new flower. Quit talking about things. Allium. That's one I'm not familiar with the name, even in kind of real life, what that flower looks like in real life versus what it looks like in Minecraft. And I believe that's another allium. Let's just double check. Yes. All right, fascinating, fascinating. I think I'm sufficiently well armored and whatnot. Like, I've just got iron tools and iron sword and that kind of thing. But I think I should be able to stay alive. I have run into... Hello, skeleton. I have run into witches. Down in the mine shaft, actually. So fortunately, I'd been carrying around a bucket of milk to deal with the cave spiders. I think originally forgetting about the fact that I wasn't on ultra hardcore anymore. And so if you get bitten by a cave spider, just stay safe. You'll regenerate some health after a time. All right, I don't see anything kind of completely amazing on the horizon. Or if I did see it, somehow I just glanced at it and I was talking and thinking about other things and missed it. But I do want to head over to this crazy thing, and we'll see... Actually, I guess I have to go almost back over by where my bed is, and I'd prefer to see things in the daytime. Yeah, I'm going to run back to my bed. I'm going to sleep away the night, and then we're going to go check out that crazy stone, hill, rounded, whatever thingy. Is this... This is a different flower. Hold on. What is that? Azure Bluet. Hello, sheep. Hello, zombie. I hear your footsteps. I will let you be... All right, I'll see you guys in a moment, and we'll head over there. It is still the case, I just slept away the night, that these chunk errors where just like large sections of the map just fail to load for no apparent reason, and you have to hit F3A for those chunks or regions to finally come back in. Oh yeah, and there's this crazy graphical glitch with beds. I've seen it in other people's videos as well. And so there still are a number of minor glitches. There's another Enderman. I've been trying to find these guys, because I don't have any ender pearls yet. He's too far away. It is daytime, and so he's probably going to teleport away. Yeah, because of the sunshine. I've been trying to kill endermen to try to get an ender pearl so that I could make an ender chest, because I've had inventory management problems, especially with the extra flowers and things. Oh my gosh, so many colors of tulips. I wonder if there's even more colors that I haven't found yet. But yeah, with all the flowers and different things, like it is becoming a little bit more Terraria-like in that my inventory tends to fill a little bit more quickly. Let me go ahead and drop off these seeds as well. But let's go ahead and climb up this hill. This hill right here looks... It could just... I'm not sure what biome this is. It looks to me like it might be a new biome, or maybe it's just a little piece of extreme hills over here. But it looked a little different than things I'm accustomed to. So let's hit F3. It is just extreme hills. Okay. Oh, wow. And there's tulips in the extreme hills. Wow. So all right. So it's not the case that the different, oh, it looks like we have a friend. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Not doing so well, huh? Is it the iron sharp thing that's getting in your face? Is that what's bringing you down? Thank you for the gunpowder. That was our buddy. He likes to deliver gunpowder. Oh man, and so I've got another kind of like chunk error kind of thing over here that makes this look interesting, but not quite right. If I hit F3A, is that going to reload correctly? We'll see. But definitely there's like a ton of exposed stone over here. Admittedly, there was exposed stone before, but the formations that it's in over here, I do think this is probably a new biome as well. Oh, this is just extreme hills. All right, interesting. So extreme hills with a big bunch of exposed stone. And then, yes, I'd heard stuff about this. I think after you get above a high enough elevation, does snow fall whenever there's weather, or does it just generate the terrain with snow on top? But we've got some snow up there. And actually, if I'm in a forest, I think snow golems can live in the forest. They don't melt. And yeah, we've got like a big, I think this is kind of a change to the extreme hills terrain generation with this big flat area of gravel. Yes, gravel. Sometimes, despite having been doing Minecraft commentary for coming up on 3 years, your brain, just like portions of it, just switch offline and you can't think of words. I see it happen to other people as well, so that makes me feel a little bit better that it's not just me, but I could not think of the word for gravel for a few seconds there. So fortunately, the game has little tooltips and I can read it on screen. I want to gather some snow just because it is here, and then I've got pumpkins already, and so I could make snow golems in case I want to farm snow. I don't know that there's anything new with snow. Yeah, basically, I know there's like some new packed ice block because I have played... what do you call Seth Bling's building game in 1.7 once or twice, and seen on the creative inventory some of those building blocks that we're using for building things. All right, that'll be enough snow for now. But I guess all of this is extreme hills, and they've just changed the generation now because I don't remember the extreme hills ever having these big patches of gravel on top. And yeah, also some of just kind of the shape of the hills feels a little bit different to what I'm accustomed to. But I like it. I think it looks cool. And so it seems like we are on the border of 3 different biomes over here. I just wanted to take a little bit of a look around because I could see these things on the horizon, and it was so tempting to go and visit them as I was playing earlier this week to kind of gear up. But I wanted to wait to do that on camera. All right, there's tons of these allium. Is that what it's called? I'm going to have to look that one up in real life. All right, and I presume then this is flower forest again over here? Yes, flower forest biome. All right, I don't know how many biomes there are. I think there might be like 30 or 40 or something now. Some of them are just kind of like variations, like there's forest and forest hills, you know, little kind of variations on an existing biome kind of thing like that. But nevertheless, I do think I want to get like every named biome. It hadn't even occurred to me. I'm in a river right now, so that's another biome name. I want to get kind of like a good looking map of each biome that just kind of gives a sense of what the biome looks like from an overhead view of a map. And then we'll use those as kind of like our keeping score or way to keep track of the biomes. But we are going to do that in a future episode. For today, I wanted to catch you guys up, let you know what was starting for getting started. Let me know what you think about the idea for this season of Exploration and Tactics to get us started, trying to collect all these things, collect all the achievements, collect all the biomes, eventually collect all the CTM blocks, the same ones I got in the previous Season of Exploration and Tactics, as well as all the new plants. I'm not sure if there's other good kind of collectible things, but I'll be thinking about some of those things. And if people have a good kind of like clever way to like do the Child's Play charity tie-in, I'd be interested in that as well. I haven't decided what I want to do with that. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and cut things off here for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Oh, and before I do, I said at the end of the episode, we will update things that we can keep score on. And I do already have a number of achievements. And so let me go take a look at the achievements menu. And so I got wood. I took inventory, that's 2. I did benchmarking, that's 3. I farmed, that's 4. I've not apparently made these things, that's 4. I have made a sword, that's 5. I've gotten leather, that's 6. Haven't done that. I've bred cows, repopulation. I think that might be a newer achievement, I'm not sure. That's 7. Haven't flown a pig off a cliff. Time to mine, getting an upgrade, that's 8, 9. Furnace, that's 10. Hardware, that's 11. Diamonds, that's 12. And then these I have not gotten. So I think I have 12 achievements thus far. And so I'm going to update the scoreboard to let us know that we've already gained 12 achievements. What an incredible score for an episode number 1. All right, there we go. We've got 12 on the achievement scoreboard. I'm not even sure how many achievements there are. I was thinking about possibly putting the totals for these things, but with things like the biomes, I'm sure people are going to end up telling me in the comments, but like, I kind of want it to be a surprise, and so I want to explore and try to find as many biomes as I can, and then only after I've done that, then go and actually go take a look at the biome list and see what other biomes I'm missing. And yeah, we'll do things like, even like ocean biomes and the hell biome of the nether and the end, like anything that appears on the F3 screen as a potential biome, I want to have maps of all of those different places. So in any case, hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm going to try to, for the first time ever, I'm juggling a bunch of different game series on the channel. I'm going to try to have each game come up at least every other day is my goal. And so, yeah, maybe an every other day schedule for Minecraft, hopefully. In any case, as always, I hope that you guys are having a great day. I will see you again soon with a whole lot more Minecraft. There's a whole lot of exploring and things I want to do here in 1.7. Looking forward to it. Bye-bye.